and I just got an opportunity to practice this one myself yesterday. If our immediate reaction to feedback is anger or denial, something valuable is in it for us, right? I'll say it again. If our immediate reaction to feedback, in other words, if somebody gives us feedback or the universe gives us feedback, something doesn't go the way we want or something does go the way we want. If our immediate reaction is anger or denial, something valuable is in it for us. And part of what that means is when we get feedback, right? Somebody says, hey, I don't like the way you did that, or you're not good at that, or you're wonderful at that. If we get angry, say, no, that's not true. Well, that's a clear sign that it has touched a nerve because there is truth in it. Or if we deny, no, you got me wrong. There's truth in it. And part of how I came to realize that one very powerfully is I was living in a center in Holland, radical therapy center, and they had their what are called rules for dating, right? Because they put a lot of emphasis on interaction and intimacy. And the rules for dating, and they encourage people to date, simply means having an agreement to spend time with someone to have more intimacy. And so that could be going for a walk, or it could be going on a date, like we think of as in, going out and maybe sleeping together or maybe having sex or any of that. But the rules for dating were, one, always go for your first choice. Which when I first heard that, I was like, well, yeah, of course. But then I thought about it more and I was like, ooh, that's a little bit scary. What if my first choice, I think is out of my league or likely to reject me? Okay, that's a bit scary, but okay, I'm here. I'll do what they say. I can play the game. Rule number 2, though, was even worse. Rule number 2 was, if somebody says no, ask them why. Right? So someone says, oh, no, thank you for the offer, but no, I don't want to go on a date with you. Then you say, and why is that? And, to be fair, there's a common understanding that we care about each other, we're not going to hurt each other, and that we are going to be honest with each other. And there was an amazing thing that I got to experience from the side there. There was a guy named Manfred, who was a big, strong German guy. I thought he was like the man, I was like, oh, if I could be half as masculine as him. And he took a shining to this Israeli woman who was there, and he went and asked her for a date. And I was thinking, she's going to say yes. Yeah, watch this. And so I knew, I was kind of watching, and she said no. And I was like, oh shit, what's going to happen now? And then Manfred, good student, he says, why? And the woman, amazing, she said to him without pause, she said, well, when we hug, I feel like you're trying to take something from me. It doesn't feel good.
Wow.
Which was so powerful. And, and I knew Manfred a little bit, and I kind of knew he'd heard something like that before. Right. And,
He's just overpowering. He was just so big and overpowering.
Well, it wasn't just that. It was also that there was a little bit of objectification, right? Like, rather than wanting to give love, which I'm sure was part of him also, he was wanting to get something from her.
Take love. Yeah.
That's what she was conveying anyway. But, and he really impressed me though in that moment, because he did what we were advised to do. And he said, thank you. That's it. He didn't argue. He didn't get mad. He said, thank you.
Wow.
And then I watched him over the next 2 days, and he really took it in, and he was kind of devastated because he hadn't admitted that to himself. But when he really took it in, he's like, I see that there is truth in that. And I don't like the way I've been affecting people, and I don't like the way people are perceiving me. And he really changed himself, like, almost overnight, because he got it. That feedback, he allowed it to come in, and it was like some kind of bitter medicine. It didn't feel good, yet it did its work in him.
Wow.
So the axiom, once again, though, is number 20. If our immediate reaction to feedback is anger or denial, something valuable is in it for us.
Wow.